Hello. In this video we're going to cover the layers tree, and the layers tree is quickly becoming one of the most useful tools, I guess you can say, organization places in Atlas 3, and it's a pretty complex area. It's basically replacing display layer settings, and I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. So getting straight to it, the first thing you'll notice is the way that I have mine set up. I have groups, and these groups contain other layers, and the groups can also be moved, and the layers can be moved. Now I have every option for columns enabled right now, so this is looking about as complicated as you can get it at the moment. The first thing to note in order to just keep this simple is the draw order is from top to bottom, so any of these layers, if you were to move them to the top, they would draw on top of anything below. So there's two ways to move these. You can simply grab and drag, and it will show you that you're kind of moving it up, and then you just let go, drop it right there. You can select one and then go to these move layer arrows, and you can move it individually one at a time, or you can move multiples. So holding shift there, I just selected 4, and now I'm going to just move all 4 of those down. Using shift is also handy for making groups or just generally ordering this layer tree. But let's get through every other option here at the top first. So this will refresh your layers list. From time to time, maybe your count might not update correctly. These images, the display icons may not update. And if that is a problem for you, you can hit the refresh layer button. Move layers I showed. Make focus layer the active layer. We're always going to leave that on. That just kind of keeps things in sync with your selection layer. This button here, add GDAL raster layer. So this would be for displaying any sort of raster data that you would potentially want to manipulate. Raster data doesn't have a lot of tools supported in Atlas 3 right now, but in the future we do want to add more. This is add GDAL image layer, and that is basically if you wanted to add anything from your base layer or your satellite imagery, SID, TIFF, and JPEG 2000 images would display in their original colors if you use the add GDAL image layer. So for just bringing in a geo-referenced raster or image layer that you want to just display and not really manipulate, you would want to use the add GDAL image layer. This is the import layer shortcut, so instead of doing file geo tools import, you can just click this, and this is just for opening shape files. And the add web map layer, click on that. We have quite a few options at the moment, but we may add or remove as we move and customize this over time. Right now we have the world topo map, NAPE 2018. This just displays NAPE imagery, and it always displays the most up-to-date imagery that's available on the NAPE server. Right now that's 2018 for California. OpenStreetMap is good for finding roads, trails, and things like that. Google Satellite, Google Terrain is kind of a hillshade sort of deal. And the Google Hybrid, which is a Google Satellite image with places and roads labeled. And you can set an opacity on here if you want to make it slightly transparent. Once those are added, you can move those up and down just like any other layer and put them behind or at the bottom of the list. And I'm going to cut that off and just call that the overview. The next video would be more of a detailed one, and we'll go into all these right-click options and how to organize this and make this more friendly.